Hello folks, so welcome to day 2, and before I even go any further talking about this group healing, please be aware that right now, during the second day, we are in the full moon in Leo, and according to an astrologer that I watched the other day, it's the biggest full moon of this year. Also as well, yesterday we were white lighted via the Schumann resonance. So there is a lot of energy. Even before we get into the group healing, there is a lot of clearing, a lot of upgrading, DNA activation, all of that. So I would say, especially with the group healing on top of that, please be mindful of yourselves today. Go slow if you need to go slow. Move if you need to move. This is about really tuning in to what the body needs. Drink plenty of water. I mean, like literally, when I was channeling this morning, I literally have emptied this full of water. I've drunk it all. So drink plenty of water because the water will help to dehydrate you. Otherwise, you could end up feeling, like if for those of you that used to drink heavily, when you've had a big session, you can end up feeling like that. So drink plenty of water. It just helps the body to shift these energies and hydrate you. Anything you can do to really care for yourself today. It could even be ringing in sick, slowing down movement. Another thing today as well is to eat a light, healthy diet. I mean, it's weird because when we were putting together the food for this week on the online shop, I chose veggie stir fry for tea. And I was like, do I fancy that really? And my guide said, you will appreciate that. You may not understand why you're having a veggie stir fry for tea, but you will appreciate that. Because, when the body's having to detoxify and clear all these old energies, to then slam it full of dense, heavy food, it can't go. And it just makes the process really hard for you. So light foods, be really kind and gentle with yourselves. Yesterday it was all, this is so gentle, and it is a really gentle healing. But boy, has this gone deep. I mean, I think whether you're having a group healing, a meditation circle, a one-on-one session, whatever healing modality you're going for nowadays, it's going deep. The change in frequencies, the ascension, the awakening, every full moon, new moon, eclipse is a deep one. And the more that we can understand that when we go into these portals, be it our own personal portals, be it or whatever, that it's going to be deep, that stuff is going to come up. Even the most biggest, painfulest stuff is going to come up. Before it, during it, or after it. May not be the same way or the same time for everyone, and that we must look after ourselves. I was in between channeling sessions today, I just went onto Instagram, and I've actually shared this on my stories on Instagram, and it was a post basically on when we're healing and things come up, sit with it. We've got to stop this. I've got to transmute this. I've got to transmute this. We've got to stop this because that's not helping. When we're going through these transitions, we're going to get old feelings. It can come up via dreams, experiences, old memories. And the worst thing we can try and do is, I've got to transmute it. No, you've just got to sit with it and feel it. You've got to admit to yourself in that moment that something is coming up that is making you angry, upset, depressed, anxious. You've got to really sit with it. Because until humans realise that we've got to feel the feels in order to move forward, we're going to keep going on these cycles. So it's really important to allow yourself to feel. And actually, it's a bit like a panic attack, when you're out and you have a panic attack and you try to suppress it and you try to fight it and you try to pretend it's not there, la 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 la. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The minute you go, I feel really anxious, I need to just take time out. Or just bear with me, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling really anxious. You've listened. So please listen to your body. Stop trying to suppress things, because actually transmuting things, if it's not done right, if it's not done for the right intentions, it just shelves it. Because if you're in the middle of transmuting because you're anxious, because you're upset, because you're scared, and I can't stand this anymore, so I'm just going to transmute it, you're not alchemizing properly, and it's just going to keep coming back. So please, please, please feel. And the reason why I'm getting so passionate is because this is heartbreak stuff. So this is deep, deep, deep stuff, because heartbreak hurts. Um, and by allowing yourself to feel it, you'll move through it a lot quicker. Okay? And knowing that you are in a healing portal right now, so your dreams will be all over the place. It's normal to feel a whole range of things. You know, your body aching, feeling tired, feeling really buzzy and high vibrational, and then having a slump. It's all normal. So please allow yourself to have this process in a normal way. Don't try to box yourself in. Don't try to preempt what's going to happen. Just go with it. Just go with it, okay? Let's pull some cards. I'm using the pastoral tarot from yesterday, because it worked well with us yesterday. Let's pull 3 cards for those watching. Those watching that are on the group healing, for those on the group healing, for those on the group healing. Messages for today. I've got a card that's flipped out. Got the Hermit. I'll show you the cards in a minute. Oh, do you know, I love this. We've got the Fool. There's another card that I need to just pull. Yes, I'm glad I did. I usually just like to do 3 for a short video like this, but I just kept getting bugged to pull another card. And the card we've got, the 4th card, is Justice. And if you look at that Justice card, it's balance. I like that so. Do you know this deck? I don't use it often. It's one of those decks that I don't use often, and I actually should. But look at that Justice card. I know you can't see my lips, but just look at that Justice card. The scales are empty, because it's almost like those scales have had all this stuff on that's been like this. We've been trying to balance and make sense of, and the scales just can't balance it. So this is about, making sense of things. What I'm feeling with this is this barrow, this vegetable barrow or flower barrow, whatever it was chaotic before this healing. All stuff was all over the place. We're trying to balance it out and the scales weren't working. But this healing is about actually cleaning it up. You cleaning it up, balancing it out, making sense of it. So that we're not trying to transmute and clear. We're going, this is part of me. This makes me who I am, but I'm going to clean it up so it's not overwhelming me. That's interesting. Do you know what I'm getting also as well? That the colour of your eyes may be blue, green, brown, grey, whatever. The colour of your skin is a certain way. Sometimes we get spots, sometimes we get grey hairs, sometimes we get wobbly bits and all of that kind of stuff. I was going to say we don't try to change it, but some people do try to change it. We all try to change it, don't we? But the stories, I was trying to stop calling them the traumas. Excuse me. The stories that we go through, let's stop trying to run away from the stories, because they're parts of us. And they're the parts of us that make us who we are, the wise person that we are today. Let's share these other cards. Right, the card that fell out of the deck was this one, 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups is about our relationship with ourselves. The man and the woman, the divine feminine masculine, have the cup and they're facing the heart chakra. Heart chakra is very fitting for today's healing. It can be about relationships and love and building something together as a team or as a couple. But ultimately, in order for that to happen, each person has to be at peace with themselves. Because the internal world is a reflection of the external world. And this is also about celebrating you and anything that's come up in relation to past people and the things that they've done, said, or not done and not said. This is a perfect opportunity with the healing and with the external energies as well to really draw a line under it and make peace with that person. And it may be that that person comes back again for you to make peace with another layer. That's interesting. My guides are showing me when we go through a story or trauma, it's almost like an arrow. If you think of an onion, okay, and an arrow piercing through the different layers. So when we are healing, we can get really triggered when we have something healed and then it comes back again, then it comes back again, then it comes back again. But actually that's the different layers that arrow has pierced through. And the longer that we stay in these situations, the more piercing that we get. And the more that we leave that, the more that onion starts to go rotten. So, interesting. The card we also had was the Fool. So lots and lots of grounding. Lots of grounding. The new beginning. The Fool is the first card in the tarot. It's 0. It's a fresh, clean start. It's going forward. It's taking with you exactly what you need in his satchel. He's not taking a big lorry full of stuff. Was it 10 of Wands with the bird and all of that kind of stuff? He's taking just what he needs. And then we've got the Hermit as well. So actually we've got 1, 2, 3 major arcana, which is the big stuff. The Hermit. Deep thinking. I know if you're in the northern hemisphere, we're in the winter. But also as well, take it away from seasons and where people are in the world. It feels like humanity is in winter right now, energetically. Whether you're in north or southern hemisphere, we are in winter because we're being stripped bare. Because right now humanity is rebirthing itself, and you may think it's not. Some people will think it's not. Some people will visualize the world right now and think it is just utter chaos. Some people will visualize the world right now and see exactly what's happening, that it's breaking down to be rebirthed again, which it is. But all of humanity right now is in the winter in order to rebirth. And if you think about the winter is about hibernation. It's about inward. It's about rest, it's about rejuvenation, but it's also about slowing down, to be more mindful in our lives. There's a big thing at the minute about, well, there's lots of influences going on about it, the nervous system, and the fact that when we're working really fast, our nervous system just flares up. So our nervous systems and having to tread slower, but also as well, the snow always reminds me of Narnia and the magic of Narnia. And I'm just looking at the next card on the deck. It just drew my attention, which is Knight of Wands, which is go get them. Not go get them, not that type of energy, but get back out there. It's a period of needing to reassimilate, to release something in order to go back out there, to let go, to release. Anything else for these cards? So with any healing that you're on, the release goes on for at least 2 weeks afterwards. In the initial, it's like really intense. There's the 2 weeks. So be mindful of that for the next 2 weeks. We're also heading up to eclipse season, which is in November. Well, put November in your diaries. It's not in November. It might be no, it's not in November. It's in March. But do put Novembers in your diaries because there's something coming in November. So bear that in mind. We're also in the northern hemisphere building up for spring. If you're in the southern, you're building up for autumn. So wherever you are in the world, looking into your seasons, that's where you need to be. So if you're heading into spring, you're doing this group healing to get yourself ready to spring forward, to start planting those seeds. If you're in the southern hemisphere, going forward, you're getting ready to do the whole release stuff and going into winter. So please, whatever place you are in the world, be mindful of that. Be mindful that the full moon is about releasing. So allow yourself these next few days to release. Be mindful that we are going into eclipse season, which, again, they are already saying that it's going to be a big one. You know, you're going to find that these full moons and new moons and eclipses and all of that, they're going to be bigger, 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 bigger because of the change in energy. You know, when we look back to when we started to awaken, those moons were like small fry. Whereas these, it's going to get more and more. I was sat before I came on and I wanted to come on and say, God, this was the best group healing ever. It was the most deepest ever. And I was like, that sounds really salesy. I thought, I don't want people to think I'm salesy, but what am I tuning into? And what I got was, every time as a healer, you do a healing, be it on a client or in a group healing or a Reiki session, every time you do that, as a client, your sessions get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And as a healer, you get better and better and better. Because as a healer, it's not just about the client receiving, the energy comes through you. So that's why when you're doing a healing session with a client or a reading, you as a giver, you will get something from that session as well. So if you've been on these group healings a while, each session gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Because we're getting to the nitty gritty, because we're working with a shift in energies. Yeah, so enjoy it. Obviously tomorrow is Thursday, if you're watching this video today, so we're stepping into the weekend, steady away. Be gentle with yourself, be loving with yourself, nurture yourself, give yourself some downtime. Meditate as well, journal, sleep if you need to. Your dreams at the minute, my God, they are huge. But anyway, I will leave you to the rest of your day. I'm going to go get some lunch and I'm going to then crack on with this afternoon's channeling. Oh yeah, I took a big dose of cacao today. I took the ceremonial dose, which I've not taken since I did my first ceremony, God, years ago, 2019. So I could get myself elevated to a point so those energies can come through quite powerful. So also as well, I was working with Lady Cacao big time in today's ceremony. It was a ceremony. You may not have been here drinking the cacao with me, but I was literally sending that energy to you all that's on the group healing. So I'm feeling like, woo, at the minute. So yeah, I did some singing bowl stuff as well. Singing bowls are here. Crystals, shamanic rattles. Going to do some drumming this afternoon. So yeah, there's a lot coming with you. If you want to sit with Lady Cacao in meditation after this video, please do. Do some heart meditations and all of that. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. The next group healing will be around about April time. I don't announce it fully until we've had a bit of a week or two decompression. Decompress, yes, that's the word, isn't it? Otherwise it's just on top of each other, but yeah, we don't want it on top of each other. So I always leave a nice 6 to 8 week gap between healing, because anything other than that is just too much. You need time to process what you've just gone through and what you've just released. But yeah, the next one, because people always say to me, when's the next one? It's going to be around about April. It will be in April, but the dates will be announced in a week or so's time. Anyway, thank you for taking part in this. Enjoy your journey. Look after yourself for the rest of today. And you do you, and you love you. And you remember as well, it's your unique experience. Yeah, sometimes people can look in the comments and see how different people are experiencing it. They may not be having that experience. That's fine. Please don't compare your experience to another. Okay? Because that can really derail us. We've got to stop that in healing. If you've got a meditation circle, each person will have a different experience. You've got a unique life to you. You've got a unique blueprint as well. So stop comparing it to other people. Anyway, thanks for taking part. Love to all, and I will see you in the next one.